Hello everyone, welcome you all to IT online class. This is Sindhu David, your computer teacher. Today I am going to start with the very first session of information technology subject. IT subject is a skill subject, a vocational subject introduced by CBSE to promote all sorts of vocational skills such that students have basic knowledge about certain area. In our school, we have opted for information technology, which would enable every student to gain a basic computer education, which is mandatory these days, irrespective of the field which you are working in. First, we are going to discuss about the syllabus. Your subject name is Information Technology and the subject code is 402. This is the syllabus for class 9 Information Technology for the session 2020-21. The book is divided into two parts, Part A and Part B. Part A is employability skills, where you are going to have 5 units, and this part A is common in all the vocational subjects of class 9th and 10th. Part B is subject specific skills. In this section also you are going to have 5 units, which is totally based on the subject skills. Today we are starting with the very first unit of Part A, Communication Skills. Communication skills are those skills which are needed to speak and write properly. As a student, you may study any language, but it is important that you are able to read, write, speak and listen well in order to communicate properly. In a present time, a thorough knowledge of the language with communication skills is very important in any occupation or to set up a business. So students, let us try to understand what exactly is communication. The word communication comes from the Latin word communicare, meaning to share. In this picture, you can see that communication is the sharing of information between two or more individuals or within a group to reach a common understanding. Students, your ability to communicate clearly and share thoughts, feelings and ideas will help you in all your relationships. For example, you can inform about something, or you can also influence others through communication. Communication skills are needed to inform, to influence or to express feelings. Inform, you may be required to give facts or information to someone. For example, communicating the timetable of an exam to a friend. To influence, you may be required to influence or change someone in an indirect but usually important way. For example, negotiating with a shopkeeper to reduce the price, or helping a friend to overcome stress due to exam or any other reason. Communication skills are needed to express feelings. Talking about your feelings is a healthy way to express them. For example, sharing your excitement about doing well in your exams, or sharing your feelings with your parents and friends. Now we will learn elements of communication. Communication is the two-way exchange of information, that is giving and receiving. Speaking and writing to someone are examples of giving information. Reading and listening to someone are examples of receiving information. Communication is a two-way exchange of information, that is giving and receiving. See this picture. Speaking and writing to someone are examples of giving information. Reading and listening to someone are examples of receiving information. Now we will see perspectives in communication. Perspectives are ideas, views, or fixed ways of thinking. These sometimes affect our communication. For example, if you have a fixed idea that your teacher or father is strict, even when they are being friendly, you may think they are scolding you even though they are polite. In the same way, others may also have fixed ideas about you, which affect whatever you say to them. Students, sometimes we are not able to communicate clearly because of barriers that stop us from sharing and understanding messages. Some of these are summarized in this table. So, factors affecting perspectives in communication or the barriers are language, visual perception, past experience, prejudice, feelings, environment, personal factors, and culture. Now we will see how the factor can become a barrier. Let's talk about language. In case of use of incorrect words, unfamiliar language, and lack of detail, language can act as a barrier to communicate what one wishes to convey. For example, language can act as a barrier when an Indian who only knows Hindi and Chinese who has a knowledge of Mandarin only want to interact with each other. Second factor is visual perception. Visual perception is the brain's ability to make sense of what we see through our eyes. For example, completing partially drawn picture with visual perception, whereas there may be something else. The next factor is past experience. Letting our early experience stop us from understanding or communicating clearly. For example, this shopkeeper cheated me last time. Let me be careful. Or I scored low marks in my math exam, so I am scared to ask and answer question in class. Next factor is prejudice. Fixed ideas such as thinking no one in my class likes me may stop a student from communicating openly in the class. Next is feelings. Our feelings and emotions such as lack of interest or not trusting the other person affect communication. For example, I am not feeling well, therefore I don't want to talk. Next factor is environment. Noise or disturbance in the surroundings may make communication difficult. Example, talking to a friend in a function where there is loud music being played by the orchestra. Next factor is personal. Personal factors include your own feelings, habits, and ways of thinking. For example, fear and low confidence may make communication difficult. And the last one is culture. Signs which have a different meaning in different cultures, such as showing a thumb, may mean good job done for some people but may be insulting to others. How to make our communication effective? Effective communication can happen if you follow the basic principles of professional communication skills. This can be abbreviated as 7 C's: clear, concise, concrete, correct, coherent, complete, and courteous. We discuss about the 7 C's of effective communication in detail. Clear. Be clear about what you want to say. Concise. Use simple words and say only what is needed. Concrete. Use exact words and phrases. Correct. Use correct spelling, language and grammar. Coherent. Your words should make sense and should be related to the main topic. Complete. Your message should have all the needed information. And the last one is courteous. Be respectful, friendly and honest. There are different methods of communication which include verbal, non-verbal and visual. Let us first learn about verbal communication. Verbal communication is the sharing of information by using words. It is what most people use as a method of communication. Verbal communication is important because if you do not use the right words, you will cause confusion and you will not be able to communicate what you want. There are 2 types of verbal communication. Communication which involves talking is oral or spoken communication. Communication which involves written or typed words is written communication. Now we will see the examples of both types of verbal communication. First, the examples of oral or spoken communication. Face-to-face conversation, when you can see the listener. For example, group discussion, talking to family member at home, conversation with public through speeches, etc. Second example is talking on a phone. This is for personal and official communication. Classroom teaching, business discussion and public speeches are other examples of oral communication, where one person talks to many others at once. Now see the examples of written communication. Writing letters, notes, email, etc. SMS. This can be sent through a phone to a person or a group. Emails. Using email to share news, thoughts, documents and files including photos, videos, music, etc. can be used to send messages to a person or to a group. Books and newspapers, also the example of written communication. Let us discuss about advantage and disadvantage of verbal communication. First, advantage. Verbal communication is easy and quick. You can say what you want and get a quick response. It is an easier form of communication when you have to exchange ideas. You keep changing your communication as per the other person's reply. Disadvantage. The cultural differences between the sender and receiver of the information. These differences may be due to the use of different languages, inability to understand the colloquial phrases used by the other individual and the accent. Since verbal communication depends on words, sometimes the meaning becomes confusing and difficult to understand if the right words are not used. Now I will explain the last topic of today's session, public speaking. Speaking in front of a large group makes most people nervous. You can use the 3 P's method to get over your fears and become a confident and effective speaker. 3 P's of public speaking are prepare, practice and perform. Prepare. Think about your topic. Think about what your listeners need to know about the topic. Think about the best way to make your listeners understand your topic. Write what you plan to say. Practice. Practice by yourself first. Talk in front of a mirror. Talk in front of your family and friends and ask them what they think. Speak clearly, loudly and at the right speed, not very fast nor very slow. And the third one is perform. Take a few deep breaths if you are feeling nervous. Think about what you have prepared and start speaking confidently. That is all for today's video. In my next video, I will explain non-verbal and visual communication.